Good morning. Appreciate you being here. Tough one on the road versus a very good football team. I'd like to sit here and say we could have done this better. It would have made a difference. Really, just in all three phases, they out executed us. Made some big plays. Had a couple one play drives. Again, they're the preseason pick number one. They return a lot of guys, ton of experience. As I said, post game player of the year on offense and defense. And for us to go up there, we battled. We'd have to play basically error-free football. Didn't do that. We were proud of their efforts. I thought we were physical with them. Tried to match it the best that we could, and really, I think we matched it better than we did a year ago. That's what I think. So again, we're gonna take the positives from the game, and there were some, and make the improvements that we need to. And we're past 24 hours. We got to get some guys healthy, and then we're on to Buffalo starting today, which they're up, leading up in the MAC. They got beat last week by Western. They return. I see offensively, I think 4 of their 5 starters are back on the O-line. And then they've got some transfers at the quarterbacks in skill positions. The quarterback's athletic, dual threat guy, run and throw. He's got 200 or 300 yards in rushing. And defensively, those 2 linebackers are very impressive. They remind me of our 2 last year. They're really, really good. They got the stats to back it up. Two is a heck of a player. He runs to the ball, and 52 is he's up. They're both like top 10 in the country in tackles, I think. And then the safety had a great year in 2022. I think he was slow with maybe an injury last year. Don't quote me on that, but they've got some pieces there on defense that will be challenging. We're looking forward to being at home in front of the home crowd. The weather's going to be great, and we're looking forward to getting in front of some energy from our fans. And Coach Solich is coming back to be recognized for his induction to the College Football Hall of Fame. That's exciting. And then the last thing, and probably most importantly, is really it's Senior Day for our guys. And with that comes a lot of emotion. And you worry about the guys going through that process and playing a game. I think having a noon kick will help that. I really do. So, but it should be a great conference matchup. With that, I'll stop talking and open up for questions.
Bobby Keegan with the Post. Coach, kind of just starting with the quarterback situation. Who do you think gives you the best opportunity to win? Who do you expect to start this
game? Parker, he's our starter. He's earned it. But we also have a capable guy in Nick that can come in and get some things done. You saw Saturday. You've seen it prior to Saturday. So I think we're in a good spot, really, to be honest with you. Let's go out and execute at the position. And if things aren't going our way and we need a spark, we have some depth there.
Charlie Fiddle from the Post. Coach, last week you played against an experienced linebacker and Pat Salopek.
Yeah.
This week, Strong Dolak, Red Murdoch. Does playing against a guy like Salopek help in preparation for those two?
That's a really good question. I just know those 2 at Buffalo are talented. They play well together. And Matt is a great player. That's how you get. He's Player of the Year for a reason. I think that, and I'll throw this in there. The defensive coordinator at Buffalo came from Miami, and so that's there's some similarities as far as just scheme. They're not exactly like Miami, but they're similar. He'd spent time there at Miami for a couple of years, and then Coach Limbo hired him there at Buffalo. And so, particularly back to your question, sure it does. It was a challenge with Matt. It'll be a challenge with those 2 for sure.
Grant Keeper, WAB. The question about on Saturday about no team's going to finish undefeated in the MAC in your eyes earlier in the year. I think that kind of resonated with me. Now you get 6 teams sitting at 2-1, playing another one this week with this new tournament plays format in the MAC. How do you keep you guys focused on hey, it is the next team up?
Yeah, that's just kind of what we've always done here, and so it's really easy for us. I mean, eventually you're gonna have to look at the standings. Our guys aren't going to prepare any differently than they have up to this point. You wouldn't want. I would think every coach would tell you that. But again, the new format is I think repeating myself. It's going to make for an exciting finish, and every game's going to matter, and because there's no East and West, and so I think it's great for our fans, and it's great for our league.
Andrew Bobby, WWE, talking about a little bit in the opening statement, getting back at home, but it's been about a month since you guys have played a home game. How important, how significant is it for you guys to just get home, play, and compete?
That's right, because they had the open week. It's been a month, so that makes me even more excited. So I know our guys will have energy about them, and we'll need to. We're playing a good Buffalo team, and you look at the games; they've been very tight, particularly last year's. I know it's a different staff, but I'm glad we're at home.
Coach Marty Bannister, Ohio Radio. Any update on Trey Tyus?
Trey, he'll be out for extended period of time, so it's unfortunate. Lower body injury. He's going to miss some time.
You talked about the quarterbacks a moment ago, and they both give you a chance to win. What kind of an advantage is that for you and for Brian Smith as play caller?
Yeah, I think just the execution piece. That's what it comes down to. The ball gets tipped up and doesn't go your way, and there's going to be some of that stuff. But just running the offense and executing it at a high level, and that goes for all positions. That's what we want, and I'm glad that we've got two guys that are capable of doing it.
Eric Decker, the Optimist leader coach. It's the final Saturday game for the regular coming up, and then you guys have a bit of an extended break until the next midweek. So does that, knowing you have the extended break, does that change any preparation or practice plans for this week?
Typically about halfway through the year, we usually we're full pads on Tuesday. We back off and go to half pads on Tuesday for the guys. Because there's again 5 left, like you said, but we'll practice normal, as far as our routine. We've got our plan for the next week. I think last year we had a 10-day window. This year's 11, because we're playing on Wednesdays as opposed to Tuesday, and so there's an extra day in there, but which is much needed for us. With the treatment, a little more prep time. We're midterms maybe academically, so we'll put it to good use.
Coach, so with the loss of Tyus and also facing a really good run defense, what's kind of the offense going to look like this weekend against Buffalo?
Yeah, I hopefully we can get some points on the board and have some consistency in moving the ball. It'll be a challenge, with missing a Trey, but again, I just. As an offense, you want to be, you can't be one dimensional, and you gotta have a good consistent running game so you can do some play action things. I think we're at our best as an offense when we can do that, and so really I'm just going to come back to the word of execution, and we don't have to have 200 yards rushing. Everybody wants to be 200 yards rushing and 200 yards. That's not what I'm saying here. There's the execution piece, and you can't do that if you can't dent them enough on the run game.
Building off that with no Tyus, we saw a lot of different backs last week between Ricky. Nolan got a touchdown. We've seen some good stuff from Duncan Brune. How do you expect to kind of split it between 3 super talented running backs?
Yeah, I'm on record as saying that you're going to see all 4 of them at some point in time. And I brought up Nolan's name, and that's where we're at. And some of it's due to injury, but I'll know more as the week goes along. I know I'll meet with Marty late in the week. I'll probably have a better feel for it and have a few comments on it in the pregame for the radio. But as I said today, it'll be kind of a practice thing. Duncan's got a little bit of a bruise from the kickoff return, a lower body injury. But I feel he's trending in the right way from talking with our trainers yesterday. I'll know more later in the week. And then, Ricky and Nolan, tons of reps. We've won games with both of them. And let's next man up and let's go.
Coach, you kind of have spoken about this over the years, how many times you've been asked, but they keep finding reasons to celebrate him. So another day honoring Frank Solich and what he's done to the community and the school. But for you, who's been around him for so long, what has he done to your career, and what does it mean just for you to be here for moments like this?
Yeah. Without getting all emotional, which would be easy for me to do. Just in my personal life, he's been unbelievable for me, my family, my kids. When we were in Lincoln, my kids were this tall. For me to be with him all this time and is very impactful. I don't have the words to tell you what he means to me personally. Now for Ohio University, he's the face of this program. And make no mistake about it. What he got done here, the program, the wins, the tradition, it's a Bill Snyder Kansas State thing. That's what it is. No one would try to say anything any differently. It's impactful. All the student athletes that have come through here that we recruited, and the relationship piece of this is really, really, really awesome. And I couldn't be happy for him and the College Football Hall of Fame, the entire class. But he's just done it with integrity, and I'm just glad to have been a very, very small part of it. Thank you for asking the question.
Coach, also on Saturday, Rodney Harris had 7 catches. I know you're looking for other guys to step up and compliment. Yeah. Regardless of the quarterback, I think it was good to see him step up.
Marty, you're right, and I should have mentioned that because he had a heck of a game. He caught some tough balls over the middle in traffic, got a couple of big first downs. The one catch on our sideline was I'm standing right there. The ball's coming. It's halfway there, and Rodney hasn't even got out of his break yet. And I thought he's got his head around it. He found the ball and made a great catch. Really great call from the officials. Tough to see, but they got it right. But he played a heck of a game. And he's from the Cincinnati area, from I think Princeton High School. And so I'm happy for Rodney. But he has the capability, and he's had some big spring games for us in man coverage. He's a tall guy, 6'2" and change, and he's got some hops. So I'm glad for him. He certainly worked hard. I hope that continues.
Well, with the way the word's out on Coleman Owen now, so you're going to see he's going to see a lot of double coverage.
Yeah, he saw it. We had, in the first quarter there, they had 3 guys on Coleman. 2 for sure, 2, and there's one guy, that's probably out of position because he was cheating towards Coleman, and which is smart, Jamar Chase, there's somebody there, he's got 2 guys on him, right? That's what it is. But so we need guys like Rodney to step up. We need Chase Hendricks to step up, Max to get some time and get in there. So it's really exciting. I'm excited. I'm glad that happened, and we want it to continue.
Do you have any word on when you guys are going to get Austin Brawley back?
No, I think it was Central Michigan. It's a personal matter, and I do not.
I know it's still pretty early in the week. You just took the 24 hours, but Western Michigan put up a lot of points on a really good Buffalo defense. Anything you've taken away so far from what they did so well against them?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I haven't. That's I only seen bits and pieces of that film up to this point. So I can't say it was this RPO or what. So I can't answer it with a lot of authority on stats. other than they put up a lot of numbers, but the most all year, and I think Buffalo put up their highest performance. I've seen quite a bit of that. Buffalo's offense versus Western's defense yesterday, and I think it was close to 600 yards total, maybe. Pretty balanced, which is problematic. And then when you got a mobile quarterback, that's going to be tough for the defense.
You think your linebackers are ready to step up with such a mobile quarterback? With that is such a deep linebacker room.
I think they'll rise up to the challenge. We've faced a couple of mobile guys up to this point. At Central, South Alabama's. So this won't be our first one. Now Buffalo has some interesting. There's some triple option stuff in there. That you don't see every week. They got some good wrinkles that on some schemes that we haven't seen that will have to be assignment football, and they want to be physical. They returned 4 of their 5 starters up front. They come off the ball, they run the wide zone very, very well. They're physical, and they'll put your face on you. So we're going to have to match that and do our best to make them one dimensional. It'll be a challenge, and then we're going to have to protect against the shot plays off the play action is where you get nervous. As a play caller on defense. So it'll be a big challenge. But again, I'll close it by saying that we've seen mobile quarterbacks before, and our linebackers will be hopefully ready for the task.
Roman Perotti had a really nice game.
Yes, he
this
did.
Week.
Maybe his best one.
Yeah,
of the
it
season.
felt like Miami could really get a lot going on with him. When he is playing at that type of level, just what does it do for your defense?
I'm Roman. Obviously, he's been in several of these Miami games. He's one of the guys that has been in part of this rivalry. He played well, and I'll tell you this: he practiced well. He probably had his best week of practice in quite some time. Leading up to the game, great tackle. They run the power read toss to their sideline. He come up. It was a really nice play. He's playing some. We don't play a ton of man, but when we do, Romans, he got challenged a couple times down the field and defended it well on Saturday. So he's had a really good year, and we need for him to continue to trend that direction.
Anyone else?
Coach, I just want to ask about, you talked going into the game last week, a lot of guys who've never stepped on the field in a Ohio Miami game. Does that make it not easier to kind of turn the page on it this week than it would have maybe in past years where you've had maybe 30 some odd seniors, whatnot?
You know what, Martin? I think that's a valid point, and I haven't given it a lot of thought, but just sitting here as you're asking that question, I think it probably does. And because we had to kind of educate them on the history of it. I'm gonna their dollar's gonna be down, and our team, they love this university, and they know what this means to bragging rights to our fan base, and all the things, and they're going to feel like they let everyone down. I'm going to ensure them with their efforts, and they continue to play hard and play together as a team. They're not letting anybody down, we've got to move on, because Buffalo's not going to be they're not going to feel sorry for us, and so I think I agree with that, and I think if our staff and how we approach it, and one game at a time, and it helps us the most with that kind of thing. But yeah.